Shalom everyone and welcome to Jerusalem. Yesterday was the birthday of the great saint Rebbe Nachman, and so in his honor I would love to tell a story of Rebbe Nachman's parables. Once upon a time there was a king who would like to believe that he was the happiest and most fulfilled man in lands. So he walked about his village to go ahead and check on the villagers to see if there was maybe someone who was happier than him. And he was walking by and he came by a cabin and he looked inside the cabin, and there a man sat with a simple meal and a drink in front of him, but his heart was soaring out of happiness. So the king asked to join him, and he sat with this man and he asked him, "Why are you so happy?" And he says, "Well, look, I'm a repairman by trade. So today I went ahead and I did some repairs. I made my 5 coins. With those 5 coins, I bought food and a drink, and well, I'm the happiest dude. Like, I got everything I need. Nothing more that I want." They both went to sleep, and then the king really thought about this, and it bothered him that there was a man that was so much happier than him. So, the next day he made a decree. From now on, if there was something broken, you yourself had to fix it. You could not hire another person to go fix it. That night, he went to check on this man to see if he was still so very happy. And then again, he looks in the hut, and this guy's got food, and he's got a drink, and he's happy as can be. So he asks to join, and again he joins, and he says, "How are you so happy? What happened today?" He says, "Well, look, I went to do my usual thing, which is to repair things, but as soon as I came, they said that there was a decree by the king that everyone has to fix their own things. I can't fix it for me. So I was walking around thinking, what do I do today? How am I going to get my food?" And all of a sudden, I saw a man chopping wood. So I went up to this man. I'm like, "Why are you chopping wood? Isn't that like below your dignity?" He's like, "Look, what can I do? No one else wanted to do the job." He says, "How about this? I'll do the job." Just like that, he picked up 2 coins. He did this a couple more times. He got all the coins he needed. He went, he bought his meal, he bought a drink, went back home, and now he's sitting in his hut. He's enjoying his meal. He's the happiest dude, and he's thanking God for all the blessings that he's bestowed upon him. Again, they go to sleep. The king thinks to himself, this isn't right. So he makes a new decree. From now on, you have to chop your own wood. You can't hire someone to chop your wood for you. Again, the next night, he goes to check on this guy to see if he's still so happy. And there again, the guy's sitting there with food and a drink. He's like, "What is going on here?" He says, "What happened? Tell me the story." And the guy says, "Okay, well, today I woke up and the decree from the king again. This time, you have to chop your own wood." So I'm like, "What do I do now?" So I went about the way and I saw a man cleaning out his stable. So I said to him, "Why are you cleaning out your stable?" He says, "Look, I tried to find someone to do the job. No one would do it for me." He says, "How about this? I'll do it for you." Just like that, picks up some more coins. So now we sit before, you see what I have before my eyes. I got a meal, I got a drink, thank God, I'm the happiest man in the world. I knew God would provide. Again, the king is just like, whatever. But they go to sleep, and again, the decree, the king decides that from now on, you have to clean your own stables. Next night, he goes and checks on this guy again. And what do you know? The guy's got a meal in front of him, and he's got a drink, and he's still soaring in happiness. He says, "What happened this time?" He says, "Okay, I went to go ahead and clean out the stables like I figured out to do the last time. But the decree from the king said that I couldn't clean out stables. So what did I do? I went to the military, and you can go ahead and be a temporary servant in the military, a soldier. So that's what I did, but I stipulated with the commanding officer that I get my day's pay each morning before I even do the day's work. And so just like that, I got my money, and now we have a meal and we have a drink. Thank God, happiest man as can be. I knew you would provide." Again, the king goes to sleep, thinks the next day, okay, I know this time. He calls the commanding officers and he says, "No one gets paid today." So again, he goes to check on this guy, and again, what do you know? This guy is happy as can be. He's got a meal and he's got a drink. King says, "What happened this time?" He says, "Well, I went to my commanding officer and I asked for money, and he wouldn't pay me up front like we agreed on." And he says, "What? I tried to negotiate with him. He's like, there's nothing I can do. The king made a decree. I can't pay anyone today. How about this? Come back tomorrow. I'll give you a double for today and tomorrow." And he's like, "Well, what am I going to do today?" So I took my blade off my sword and I pawned it, and I got the coins I needed. And don't worry, like tomorrow I'll just go ahead, and when I get my doubles day pay, I'll fix it. But in the meantime, I put a piece of wood in its stead." So the king is now like, oh my gosh. So he goes to sleep, and the next day he calls the commanding officer and he says, "I have a man that needs to die. He has to be decapitated, and I want this man to do it. thinking to himself, he has a wooden sword, I'm going to catch him in the act and I'm going to get him in trouble. So now this poor man shows up to the king, and the king tells him, this man needs to be decapitated, pull out your sword and kill him. And this man's like, I've never killed anyone in my life, I can't kill him. What if he didn't do anything? How do I know that this is a true verdict? He says, no, he did it and you were ordered to kill him. Just like this, the man looks up to the heavens and he says to himself, God, I've never killed a man, and nor do I want to kill a man. If this man truly deserves to die, then when I unsheath my sword, let it be the case. But if he does not deserve to die, when I unsheath my sword, let the metal turn to wood. And just like that, he pulls out his sword and it turns to wood, and everyone in the room is like, oh my gosh. And the king realizes, wow, this guy has too much faith. This guy is too connected to God above. There's no getting him down. And just like that, he left him alone. Not only that, he was in the king's esteem. Always be happy with your lot and always have faith in God, because everything is always as it's meant to be. Happy birthday, Rebbe Nachman.